So today's video is all about why marriage matters. Now, this is an interesting topic. You guys, well, some of you may not know. I have a new platform called Wifey for Lifey group. And the Wifey for Lifey group is a group that is for women and, well, it's for women, but it's for wives and future wives. And for women who have a positive view of marriage and understand how impactful marriage truly is and why it's necessary for our society and why it's so important. Now, I don't necessarily believe marriage is for everyone. Everyone does not have the self-control or the discipline or maybe even the want to be married. So this video is not really about trying to convince you to get married. That's your decision. It's just about some of the things that I hear women say that I find very disturbing, and some of the mixed messages and, you know, just false myths that float around about marriage that don't really make sense and don't really back up statistics or research or anything of that nature. Now, I've been watching, one of you recommended her to me. I've been watching Hardship, I think that's how you say it, economics. She is a YouTuber. Her name is Connie. And I agree with a lot of her views about marriage. I don't like the black male bashing. I don't really get down with that. My man is black. He is above average black male. He's a quality black male. So I don't really get down with a lot of the black male bashing, but I do understand why women have such a negative view of black men, referring to black women. I get it. I do. I understand. But I don't get down with that part. But, you know, the thing is about YouTube or about in life in general, you take what you can take from somebody and you leave the rest. Like, it's totally okay to agree to disagree. So I'm going to leave a link to her channel in a video that she did on Stop the Marriage Lie, which I thought was a phenomenal video about the lies that people try to spew about marriage, and an article that was out there that kind of downplayed marriage, in particular for black women. Black women, we know the situation with marriage. We are the least married group, you know, and that's unfortunate because our community, I feel, needs it the most. And so I'm going to go into my own reasons that I believe marriage matters that will be based in facts and statistics. And it is really based off this book, Why Marriage Matters. And Why Marriage Matters is basically a research-based book where a bunch of scholars got together to discuss why marriage is so fundamentally impactful to families and to society. I did a post on Instagram, and one thing that I really hate that women say all the time is like, I don't need a man. And it's like, I think you're lying to yourself, because here's the thing. If I didn't need a man, you would never hear me even say it, because I wouldn't care enough to say it. You know, I wouldn't be walking around and saying, you know, I don't need a man, you know, I don't want to get married. And it's like, you know, it's like my situation with children. I think to myself, like, I love kids. You know, y'all know I'm an educator, but would I love my own kids? No, I'm just kidding. I would love my own kids. But I live a very flexible, free lifestyle, and I enjoy that. But I also mentor. I'm not just 100% selfish. I have nephews. I have former students in my life who I mentor, who I support financially, not just with my mouth. And so I do believe in giving back and being a role model, almost like a parent figure to children who may not have parent figures that are doing their job. And so, you know, but I would never say, I would hate being a mother. Oh my gosh. But there are days I'm very happy that I'm not a mother, because my life is my life. And, you know, I just get to focus on me, my husband, my family, and I don't have to focus on anyone else. But I definitely would never say, you know, I would never be a mother, because no, I love the idea of being a mother. I think families are important. I think you just have to do things when you are ready, when the time is right, when God says so. And so, but I never speak negatively about mothers, because mothers are the most important people on the face of the earth. They have the hardest job, for sure. So I'm just going to go into some reasons that marriage matters, and I do have a private community, the Wifey for Lifey group. Wifey for Lifey group is our Instagram handle, and then we have a Patreon page where I do different posts about being married, the struggles of being married, femininity. We do book studies, we give advice, people tell their stories, and it's all about creating positive marriages so that we can, as women, get what we want and what we desire. And it's a group for women, and I believe women are powerful, we're impactful, and we should have everything we want. We should have a man that's faithful to us. We should have a man that has a good career, that goes to work. We should have a man that treats us with respect and that treats us royally. We should have a man that would allow us to stay home if we had children. We should have the economic flexibility. And that's the issue with the Black community in particular, is we don't have the economic flexibility. And that's why I love Connie's channel. And like I said, I will leave a link to her channel below. Okay, so the number one thing of why marriage matters is marriage increases the likelihood that fathers and mothers have good relationships with their children. You know, a lot of homes where you don't have a married couple, or where the parents choose not to be married, there's a lot of confusion. The kid may be bouncing back and forth from home to home, or they may live in a home where they don't feel complete, you know, because their parents are not married. Now, a lot of people have negative views of marriage. Marriage in itself has nothing to do with that. It's people. That's the problem. The problem is people. It's not marriage, you know, and because of the culture of, you know, do what you want, shack up, you know, have babies out of wedlock, you know, people just have kind of picked that up, and it didn't used to be that way. So I think that it's the culture of marriage. People don't respect marriage. So therefore you have people who enter marriage who also don't respect the institution of marriage. So marriage is not the issue. That's a people issue. And so I think that when you choose to have children, you should provide the most stable environment for them. And the most stable environment for them, research shows, statistics shows, is them being in a home with two people who love each other who are married. And you cannot fight that statistic. You would be making something up. So I'm not going to go over all the points. I'm going to link the article below that give all these points, and I'm also going to link the book, like I said. But these are just points that I'm picking out that I think are very important. So marriage reduces poverty and material hardship for disadvantaged women and their children. You know, when you have a man that has a career and you have a career and y'all come together, well, there you have two incomes, and that's always better than one. And then if you have a man that has a really good career and also skills and trades and talents, maybe you don't even have to work as a wife. Maybe you have a hobby or a skill or a talent that you can monetize at home. And I know this from personal experience in my journey to being at home. I stay at home, you know, so I know that that is possible for women, even with men who don't, you know, are super rich. Like, people think your man has to be super rich for you to get these things or for you to get the economic benefit. And it's really not about that. It's about investments. It's about savings. It's about understanding money. It's about understanding how to make your money grow. And these are conversations that me and my husband have all the time. And research clearly shows that the number one economic builder is marriage. You know, you are putting yourself in a very good position when you are with a healthy, well-rounded man who has a good career. You're putting yourself in a position to be able to take care of your child, to be a homemaker if you so choose to be able to stay home for a certain period of time while you care for your child. Marriage is so impactful to that. Another thing is, it says that divorce and unmarried childbearing increases poverty for both children and mothers. And cohabitation is less likely to alleviate poverty than is marriage. So I think that people like to cohabitate because they don't want to make the commitment. No one wants to be committed to anyone, it seems like. And a lot of this, you know, one thing that Connie does not do that I don't agree with is maybe talk about personal responsibility. And as women, we are personally responsible for our bodies and how we choose to use them. So if you choose to lay down with a man and continue to lay down with a man who is not committed to you and who is not going to marry you, well, that is less about the man and more about you. So as women, one problem that I have with women is no one wants to say, yeah, I was accountable for that action. And that's something that Ayana Van Zant always brings up in some of her Fix My Lives, is like making women be accountable, and men be accountable for their part in our downfalls. Because, you know, like even I could look at my own life with me being overweight. There's no reason for me to be overweight. That's lack of self-discipline, you know? That's me not getting up, working out every day. That's me not always picking the right meals. You know, so I can't blame McDonald's. You know, I can't blame my mom because maybe they didn't raise me to eat vegetables and fruits. You know, I can't blame anyone but myself for my own failures in life. And believe me, I have many failures. But I can't blame other people for those failures. That's me. And I think the same thing with women. When you choose to lay down with men who are not your husband, when you choose to engage in long-term relationships with people who have no plans of committing to you and their actions do not show it, but you're listening to their words, well, you play a role in that. You are responsible in that as well. And so we can't totally excuse ourselves as women and say, it's the man, he's a dog, he's a cheater, he don't want to be with me. Well, you played a part in that. And so being accountable is very important. So marriage is important because when you have your baby inside of a marriage, anything could happen. But when you know this is a high quality man, when you take your time, when you focus not on sex, when you focus on actually getting to know each other non-sexually, and y'all build a very strong bond, it is highly unlikely he's going to walk away from you and your child. Okay, that makes no sense. So another thing that they found in this research is that married women have lower rates of depression than single or cohabitating mothers do. The thing about cohabitating is that it's not commitment. Yeah, two people could decide, yeah, I'm going to be committed, but no one recognizes that but you. The government doesn't recognize it, so you don't get all of your rights that you would get if you were not married. Other people don't recognize it. You know, people don't respect you the way they would if you say this is my husband, rather this is my live-in boyfriend. You know, no one talks about these things, but a child loves to say my mom and dad, they're married. Like I couldn't have imagined growing up and like saying like this is my dad, but yeah, they don't live together and I go to my dad's house every other weekend. Like, no, my mom worked. She had a professional job as an educator. She came home. She took us to the library. She cooked dinner every night, or if we might have ate out a couple times during the week. I don't remember that a lot. I think my mom really pretty much cooked every day. She taught us how to read. You know, she was a really good mom, and she made a lot of sacrifices for us. So, you know, I can't see how, it's hard for me to imagine how women do that alone. And it really makes no sense because there's no reason for you to have to do that alone. If you go about selecting your spouse more carefully, that is no reason that that should happen. Anything can happen, don't get me wrong. But I think that a lot of people are not admitting that they ignore things that they shouldn't have ignored when they were dating. The number one thing that stuck out to me from this study was about marriage and economics, and that is what Connie talks about in her video thoroughly. This channel is not necessarily about marriage. Marriage is a part of my platform. Marriage, relationships, fashion, entrepreneurship, and social issues that I think are important to women as we try to level up and get everything that we deserve in life. So I won't go into all of that. You can watch Connie's video, but if you want to be economically free, if you want to build wealth, marriage is that way to do it. Married couples build wealth. Married couples bring their resources together and they are able to build that wealth. They are able, and especially when you date on your level, you know, when you are professional and you marry another professional, y'all have similar incomes, y'all save, y'all decide what y'all are going to do with your money, how you're going to invest, how you're going to save, whatever you're going to do. Later on down the road, maybe you get pregnant, you decide you want to have kids, you tell your spouse, hey, I'm not going to work anymore, I'm going to use this talent that I have, I'm going to start my own business. You know, being married gives you the freedom to do what you want with your business. You know, I'm a witness of that. Like, you know, I loved being an educator. You know, the only thing I didn't like about education was the politics. And you guys know I have videos on that. And I'm going to do another video about that, about the politics of it and why I quit. But I would never, I don't think I would have had, well, I could have done it because I'm savvy. I would have figured it out. But as a single woman, it would have been way harder for me to walk away from my job and live my same lifestyle. Actually, I live a better lifestyle now that I don't have a job. I have a job, don't get me wrong. I have multiple businesses, but I don't have a traditional job. And so now that I don't have a traditional job, it gives me more flexibility to make more money. I make more money than I did as a teacher, and I am supported by my husband. I'm on his insurance, his life insurance, everything that I need. I can fall back on him for. If he were to pass away, I would be taken care of. This is the perk of marriage, okay? You have a backbone. You have someone to fall back on, you know? You have a support system with the kids, putting them to bed. You know, you have a support system with the kids going to the games and all the things you have to do as a mother. You have a support system around the house. You have somebody that loves you. That's going to lay his life down for you if need be. And who wouldn't want that? What woman would not want that? I think that's very weird. And as I wrap this video up, I'm going to go back to a point that I was making about the Instagram post, and I was talking about that whole independent thing. Like, I don't need a man. I can do it by myself. I'm degreed up. I'm educated. Well, so am I, boo. But I don't have to spend a lot of my funds because I have a support system who is more than happy to pay bills and to give me more and extra, you know? So this is what I don't understand. And a lot of them were like, well, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, women, we want, but, and they were kind of saying like, you know, if I could find someone to do that, you know, I would do it, but women have to do it. And it's like, that's not what the post is about. The post is about, are you putting yourself in a space mentally up here where you know you deserve a good man, a good high quality man in your life who can step into your life and y'all can build your wealth together. And if you have children and you want to stay home, you can do that. Are you positioning yourself to meet a man like that? You know, like I said, I married young, but the one thing that I did right, even though I didn't have good sense at 23, the one thing I did right was match myself with someone who was equally yoked. Middle class, upper middle class, you stick together. And it kind of shows you how you should date. You know, dating beneath you is not a good idea. You know, you should at least be dating on your level or up, not beneath you. How a man treats you is really important. But listen, all that hugging and kissing and bumping and grinding is not going to keep your lights on. It is not going to help you, you know, pay for your kids' karate lessons. It's not going to help you be able to help your mom or your dad. It's not going to help you take trips. You know, rolling around in the bed is not going to help you build generational wealth. You know, so you have to think about more than just, I love him, when you are dating, and also when you are picking a spouse. You have to pick a well-rounded spouse. And no one's going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. My husband's not perfect, but he's perfect for me. So I think I just wanted to put that out there, that all these myths about marriage and, you know, about taxes and like, oh, if you file taxes together, Connie talks about that in the video. Listen, you get a tax preparer, and your tax preparer will tell you if you should file joint or if you should file separately. All of that is just a cop-out to make excuses. I feel like a lot of women want to get married, but they're afraid to say they want to get married because they don't want to be shamed or they don't want to be embarrassed. And I think it should be the other way around. You should be embarrassed to be out here saying, I'll be a single mother and I want to raise my kid alone and I want to be single and I want to be free and I want to pay all my bills. And oh, and this whole patriarchy thing, like if you get married, that means a man is beating you and beating you into the kitchen and telling you to cook meals and, you know, bossing you around. And I know in history, Black women have been abused a lot, you know. That's why Black women, I think, are so triggered by anything that deals with men. You know, they're very triggered, I notice on my page. So I think you need to stop listening to extreme feminism. And if you're a woman of color following me, extreme feminism does not benefit Black women anyway. If you do a little research, Connie talks about that. And I will have more videos about this topic, but that's all I want to say today because I'm getting long. This video is getting long. Follow the Wifey for Lifey group on Instagram. Also, join my Patreon group if you are a wife or a future wife. Because we talk about all kinds of things. We talk about sex, we talk about money, we talk about who should be the breadwinner, we talk about the woman's role, we talk about femininity, we talk about all the things that we need to do to level up so that we as women, because it's about women for me, how are you going to get what you want? That's what it's about. Ladies, if you desire to be married, don't let people shame you. It's nothing wrong with marriage. If you don't desire to be married, child, this ain't for you. Don't worry about it. You don't do you. But that's just my thoughts on why marriage matters. And if you have any other marriage topics that you want me to discuss, leave them below and I will get to them. All right, guys, I will leave links to the article, to the book, and to the channel that I mentioned, and I will talk to you later. Bye.